What is going on, guys? We're going to keep this episode a little bit more like podcasty chill, but as we get into the topic, if you guys have been following this channel for a while, you guys know who this is. This is Lizzie Pierce. She is my girlfriend, and we own a video production company together.
Yes, we do.
And I think the common question that a lot of people like to ask us, they're like, oh, you guys own a business together. How does that work?
Yeah, very judgy, like in that tone, like, oh, like how does that work?
And they usually go, and it's like, the next line is usually like, I could never do that.
Yeah, soon following that, it's, wow, I could never do that. That must be so difficult. Like, how do you do it? Like, you just get up and then we do it every day. Like, it's not that.
Yeah, so we thought in this episode we would address that common question. We asked you guys on Twitter a bunch of questions, so we're gonna kind of go back and forth about your questions about being in a relationship and owning a business together. So Lizzie, do you want to do like the first question? You want to bring that up?
Yeah, so you ready?
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da. Oh, the lights come down.
Yeah.
In general, what are the biggest problems you have/had to face with this? Do you want to start and then I answer after?
Yeah, I'll start. I think one of the biggest, there's not really like a lot of problems. Like Lizzie and I do get along pretty well and we can handle confrontation fairly well. But I think one of the things is like, I generally will have this idea for a client. I'll be like, this is the thing that we need to do. And we really need to do this one. This is the creative I want. And she'll usually be like, nope.
It's not realistic.
It's not realistic. They're not going to pay for that. We shouldn't even really bother.
That's not what they want, and that's not what they asked for. And Chris will be like, oh yeah, good point. You'll get really upset if like I don't like one of your ideas. And like you don't like all of my ideas, but Chris will take it like really seriously. Like he'll think that I've like stolen his firstborn child or something.
Yeah. He's like, oh, it's garbage.
And you'll be like, I'm just trying to come up with ideas. And I'll be like, I know, but
my
like
angry
this
voice.
is
Become a little bear.
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna like uncover some stuff here. We're gonna like you guys are gonna see like a battle out on camera. We've actually been like totally fine this whole time. And she's like, well, actually, now that we're talking about it. Do people judge you for being in a relationship at your workplace?
I can take that first.
Go for
it. We won't be totally forthcoming about it if we're working with a client, for example. Like we won't say, by the way, we're in a relationship, because there's no point in telling them that, because we are professional and it's never been a problem.
No.
And sometimes our clients have no idea.
Actually, funny story, we're so good at being business on set that legitimately somebody hit on Lizzie while we were there and I was standing right beside her. That was my favorite thing, where I was just looking at him and he was just like, yeah, so like it'd be great.
Was that?
We should grab a coffee one time. It's client unknown. We'll keep it as that.
Did you whisper in my ear? Oh yeah! That was really funny. I forgot.
Yeah. And you just gotta like ease their fears. Like that's really what it comes down to, is they're like, oh, they're in a relationship, and you're like, no, like it's been 6 years. They're like, oh, you've been in a 6-year relationship. Oh, this is gonna go great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's generally, do you have any other questions?
What do you do to make sure you still have your own time and make sure you still have couple time? So when do we turn work off and when do we turn our relationship on?
I think you're really good at this. I feel like one of the things I've learned a lot from Lizzie is where it's like, cool, I've worked enough today. Now it's like time to be in a relationship. Now it's time to live.
Chris has this mind where like he's a hamster on a hamster wheel and he's just like 1,000 miles a minute just running all the time and coming up with these new ideas. And then there's me who's sitting there with like my sangria, like, it's Sunday. Could we just talk about something else maybe?
Yeah, and I think I've gotten like really good at just being like, yeah, okay, no problem. Sorry.
And I like
that.
working too. We work more than a 9-to-5 job.
Of course we do.
100%. But at the same time, I think we're like, I'll usually say to you, okay, we're out grocery shopping. Let's focus on this right now. Like, let's just be a couple grocery shopping. And you're like, oh yeah, right. Probably shouldn't talk about that project that we have to write that budget for right now. It's probably not a great time.
So just being aware of each other's emotions, knowing that like, okay, I'm breaching too much into like the business conversation. Let's just be friends. Like how this all started.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, here's a question. Did you two both intend on being in business together from the start, or did it just organically happen?
We met in school, so I don't think either of us knew what our jobs were going to be at first. I think we realized soon after we started dating that we wanted to work for ourselves, but I don't know if we decided we wanted to own a business together. That just kind of
developed over time.
Because we started working together in school on certain projects and like freelance projects here and there. We liked that experience and our work was always good. And then we both just became the people where like I thought he was really good at what he did and he thought I was really good at what I did. So we would just be the first to ask each other when we got, you know, a project that required more than one person.
Yeah.
And then I was working somewhere else. I was working at another production company and Chris was still running his own business. But then he's just started to get so much work and I think you were just having trouble keeping yourself organized with it and it was more than you could handle, and that's when I came on.
Yeah, like we have very like complementary strengths. Like literally I'll sum it up like this. The moment Lizzie like joined on the company and then became a part of it, our videos got drastically better. Clients were drastically happier.
They were much happier.
We grew tenfold in revenue and projects and types of clients. We went from working with like so-so clients to like really awesome clients. And I think that just allowed each one of us to really go with our strengths and work together. Who's the early bird and who's not?
Oh, I wonder. I am not the early bird. I do not get the worm. I like to sleep.
And I'm definitely an early bird all the time.
No.
Okay, so last question. This is the one we'll end the video on before we close everything out here.
What is it?
Would you recommend to other people to start a business with their significant other?
Depends on what your relationship is like.
Yeah, I think that's a loaded question, and it's something that I asked, but I
think if you can do it, 100%. If you think your relationship can handle it, 100%, I think you should do it because I think it's a smart decision. If you're both going to work for yourselves, it's even smarter to work together.
Yeah, because you're more powerful as a team, and I think that's something really interesting about our relationship and something that we're really proud of and it's something we both enjoy. Like, yes, there's times where it's difficult in the business, but I would say the majority of it's positive and it's great.
Yeah.
When you really look at the big picture of being like, oh, cool, we work for ourselves, we have to see each other more often, which is what we want in the relationship. It's hard to say if it's the right fit for everybody, but if you're in the position right now and you're sitting at home and you're with a significant other and you're both either creatives or you both have a business idea that you think, okay, if we can do this together and it won't affect the relationship, it'll actually support it and make it better, then I would say I would highly recommend it, but you need to really have a good conversation with your significant other before you're thinking about committing another 8 to 10 hours a day.
Another like
working on something together like that.
Yeah. I'll leave you guys with this. When people ask us, you know, you work together, you're in a relationship together, how does that work? I usually say, well, if you plan on getting married and you plan on having kids and you plan on, you know, owning a home together, then you're already working together. You already have made investments together and you've actually made the biggest commitment of all, which is, you know, deciding on how to raise a small human. So that's already working together, in my opinion, and much more difficult than running a business together. But that's my tip. That's my point of view. That's my opinion. So hopefully that helps you guys if you're thinking of doing the same thing.
Yeah, so on that note, if you guys like this video, please press like. It actually makes a difference. Leave a little comment below if you guys want to see more of this, if you want this to maybe turn into a podcast, if you want this to become a small series or like just
a 2-minute speed round or something.
Whatever it is, leave your suggestions below and we'll consider probably bringing this to the table or whatnot.
Yeah.
And on that note, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone.
Bye.